First Chronicles chapter 4. Judah's son Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shabal fathered Johath, and Jahath fathered Ahumai and Lahad. These were the families of the Zorathites. These were Itam's sons, Jezreel, Ishma, and Idbash, and their sisters was named Hazelelpani. Penuel fathered Gedor, and Ezer fathered Husha. These were the sons of Hur. Ephrathah's firstborn, and the father of Bethlehem. Ashur fathered Tekoa, and had two wives, Helah and Nara. Nara bore Ahuzam, Hefer, Temeni, and Hahashtari to him. These were Nara's sons. Helah's sons, Zereth, Zohar, and Ethnan. Koz fathered Anub, Zobeba, and the families of Aharel, son of Harum. Jabez was more honored than his brothers. His mother named him Jabez and said, I gave birth to him in pain. Jabez called out to the God of Israel, if only you would bless me. Extend my borders, let your hand be with me, and keep me from harm, so that I will not experience pain. And God granted his request. Chalub, brother of Shuha, fathered Mehir, who was father of Eshton. Eshton fathered Bethrepha, Pazeah, and Tehina, the father of Irnahash. These were the men of Rekah. Kenaz, son Othniel, and Sariah. Othniel's son Hethoth, and Meonathai. Meonathai fathered Ophrah, and Sariah fathered Joab, the ancestors of those in the craftsman's valley, for they were craftsmen. The sons of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, Iru, Elah, and Nam. Ehlah's son Kenaz. Jehalalel's sons Ziph, Zipha, Tiria, and Azarel. Ezra's sons Jether, Mered, Epher, and Jalon. Mered's wife Bithiah gave birth to Miriam, Shammai, and Ishba, the father of Eshtemoa. These were the sons of Pharaoh's daughters. Bithiah, Mered, had married her. His Judean wife gave birth to Jared, the father of Gedor, Heber, the father of Soko, and Jukithiel, the father of Zenoah. The sons of Hodiah's wife, the sister of Naham, the father of Keilah, the Garmite, and the father of Eshtemoa, the Maacathite. Shimon's sons Amnon, Rina, Ben-Hanan, and Tilon. Ishi's sons Zoheth and Ben-Zoheth. The sons of Shelah, sons of Judah, the father of Lekah, Ledah, the father of Mareshah, the families of the guild of linen workers at Beth-Ashbee, Joachim, the men of Kozeba, the Joash, and Seraph, who married Moabites and returned to Lehem. These names were from ancient records. They were the potters and residents of Netaim and Gedera. They lived there in the service of the king. Simeon's sons Nemul, Jamin, Jarib, Zerah, and Shaul. Shaul's sons, his father Shalom, his sons Mibsam, and his son Mishma. Mishma's sons, his son Hamuel, his son Zakur, and his son Shimei. Shimei had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but his brothers did not have many children, so their whole families did not become as numerous as the Judeans. They lived in Beersheba, Moladah, Hazushur, Bilhah, Ezem, Tolad, Bethwel, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazarah Susim, Beth-Biri, and Sharaim. These were their cities until David became king. Their villages were Etam, Ain, Rimmon, Toshen, and Ashan, 5 cities, and all their surroundings villages as far as Baal. These were their settlements, and they kept a genealogy record for themselves. Meshobab, Jemlech, Joshash, son of Amaziah, Joel, Jehu, son of Joshibiah, son of Seraiah, son of Asiel, Elionai, Joachabah, Joshohai, Asaiah, Adiel, Semiel, Benaiah, and Zizal, son of Shipha, son of Alon, son of Jedaiah, son of Shimri, son of Shemaiah. These mentioned by the names were leaders in their families. Their ancestral houses increased greatly. They went to the entrance of Gedor to the east side of the valley to seek pastures for their flocks. They found rich, good pastures, and the land was broad, peaceful, and quiet, for some Hamites had lived there previously. These who were recorded by name came in the days of King Hezekiah of Judah, attacked the Hamites' tents and the Munites who were found there, and set them apart for destruction as they are today. Then they settled in their places because there was pastures for their flocks. Now 500 men from these sons of Simeon went with Pelatiah, Neriah, Rephaiah, and Uzziel, the descendants of Ishi, as their leaders to Mount Seir. They struck down the remnant of the Amalekites who had escaped, and they still live there today.
1 Chronicles 5. These were the sons of Reheuben, the firstborn of Israel. He was the firstborn, but his birthright was given to the son of Joseph, son of Israel, because of Reuben defiled in his father's bed. He is not listed in the genealogy according to the birthright. Although Judah became strong among his brothers, and a ruler came from him, the birthright was given to Joseph, the son of Reuben, Israel's firstborn. Hanoch, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. Joel's sons, his son Shemaiah, his son Gog, his son Shimei, son of Micah, his son Reaiah, his son Baal, and his son Beram. Bera was a leader of the Reubenites, and King Tiglath-Pileser of Assyria took him into exile. His relatives by their families as they are recorded in their family records. Jael, the chef, Zechariah, and Bela, son of Azaz, son of Shema, son of Joel. They settled in Aroer as far as Nebo and Baal Meon. They also settled in the east as far as the edge of the desert that extend to the Euphrates River, because their herds and had increased in the land of Gilead. During Saul's reign, they waged war against Hagrites, who were defeated by their power, and they lived in their tents throughout the reign east of Gilead. The sons of Gad lived next to them in the land of Bashan, as far as Salika. Joel the chef, Shapham the second in command, Janai and Shaphat in Bashan, the relative according to their ancestral houses, Michael, Michael, Meshulam, Sheba, Jorai, Jakam, Zia, and Eber seven. These were the sons of Abihal, son of son of Jaroah, son of Gild, son of Machael, son of Jeshishaui, son of Jahdo, son of Buz, Ahi son of Abdel, son of Guni, was head of their ancestral family. They lived in Gilead in Bashan and its surrounding villagers, and it throughout the pasture land of Sharon. All of them reigned in the genealogies during the reign of Judah, King Jotham, and Israel, King Jeroboam. The descendants of Reuben and Gad and half the tribe of Manasseh had 44,760 warriors who could serve in the army. Men who carried the shield and sword, drew the bow, and were trained for war. They waged war against the Hagrites, Jeter, Naphish, and Nodab. They received help against these enemies because they cried out to God in battle, and the Hagrites and all their allies were handed over to them. He was receptive in their prayer because they trusted in him. They captured the Hagrites' livestock, 50,000 of their camels, 250,000 sheep, and 2,000 donkeys, as well as 100,000 people. Many of the Hagrites were killed because it was God's battle, and they lived there in the Hagrites' place until the exile. The descendants of half the tribe of Manasseh settled in the land from Bashan to Baal Hermon, that in Senir or Mount Hermon. They were numerous. These were the heads of the ancestral families: Epher, Ishi, Eliel, Azriel, Jeremiah, Hodavah, and Jahdiel. They were violent warriors, famous men, and heads of their ancestral houses. But they were unfaithful to the God of their ancestors. They prostituted themselves with the gods of the nation God had destroyed before them. So the God of Israel roused the spirit of the king Pu, that is Tiglath-Pileser of Assyria, and he took the Reubenites, Gabites, and half the tribe of Manasseh into exile. He took them to Hala, Habor, Hara, and Gozan's river, where they are until today.
1 Chronicles chapter 6. Levi's son Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. Kohath's son Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Amram's children Aaron, Moses, and Miriam. Aaron's son Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Eleazar's fathered Phinehas. Phinehas fathered Abishua. Abishua fathered Buki. Buki fathered Uzi. Uzi fathered Zeriah. Zeriah fathered Meraioth. Meraioth fathered Amariah. Amariah fathered Ahitub. Ahitub fathered Zadok. Zadok fathered Ahimaaz. Ahimaaz fathered Azariah. Azariah fathered Johanan. Johanan fathered Azariah, who served as priest in the temple that Solomon built in Jerusalem. Azariah fathered Amariah. Amariah fathered Ahitub. Ahitub fathered Zadok. Zadok fathered Shallum. Shallum fathered Hilkiah. Hilkiah fathered Azariah. Azariah fathered Sariah. And Sariah fathered Jehozadak. Jehozadak went into exile when the Lord sent Judah and Jerusalem into exile at the hands of Nebuchadnezzar. Levi's sons Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. These are the names of Gershom's son, Libni and Shimei. Kohath's sons, Amram, Ishhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Merari's son, Mali and Mushi. These are the Levites' families according to their fathers. Of Gershom, his son Libni, his son Johath, and his son Zimmah. His son Joah, his son Edo, his son Zerah, and his son Jithrai. Kohath's sons, his son Aminadab, his son Korah, his son Asir, his son Elkanah, his son Abiasaph, his son Asir, his son Tohath, his son Uriel, his son Uzziah, and his son Shaul. Elkanah's sons Amasai and Ahimath, his son Elkanah, his son Zophai, his son Nahath, his son Eliab, his son Jorham, and his son Elkanah. Samuel's sons, his firstborn Joel, and his second son Abijah. Merari's sons, Mali, his son Libni, and his son Shimei, his son Uzzah, his son Shemiah, his son Hagiah, and his sons Asaiah. These are the men David put in charge of the music in the Lord's temple. After the ark came to rest there, they ministered with song in front of the tabernacle, the tent of meetings, until Solomon built the Lord's temple in Jerusalem, and they performed their tasks according to the regulations given to them. These are the men who served with their sons. From the Kohathites, Heman the singer, son of Joel, son of Samuel, son of Elkanah, son of Jerohah, son of Eliel, son of Toah, son of Zuph, son of Elkanah, son of Mahath, son of Amasai, son of Elkanah, son of Joel, son of Azariah, son of Zephaniah, son of Tahath, son of Asir, son of Abiasaph, son of Korah, son of Izhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, son of Israel. Heman's relatives was Asaph, who stood at his right hand, Asaph, son of Bershia, son of Shemiah, son of Michael, son of Bahaziah, son of Melchijah, son of Ethni, son of Zerah, son of Adiah, son of Ethan, son of Zemiah, son of Shimei, son of Jahath, son of Gershom, son of Levi. On the left, their relatives were Merari's sons, Ethan, son of Kishi, son of Abdi, son of Muluk, son of Hashabiah, son of Amaziah, son of Hilkiah, son of Amzi, son of Bani, son of Shemer, son of Mali, son of Mushi, son of Merari, son of Levi. Their relatives, the Levites, were assigned to all the services of the tabernacles, God's temple, but Aaron and his sons did all the work of the most holy place. They presented the offerings on the altars of burnt offerings and on the altars of incense to make atonement for Israel, according to all that Moses, the servants of God, had commanded. These are Aaron's sons, his son Eleazar, his son Phinehas, his son Abishua, his son Buki, his son Uzi, his son Zerahiah, his son Meraioth, his son Amariah, his son Ahitub, his son Zadok, and his son Ahimaaz. The settlements of the Levites. These were the places assigned to Aaron's descendants from the Kohathites family for their settlements in their territory, because the first lot was for them. They were given Hebron and the land of Judah and its surrounding pasture lands. But the fields and the settlements around the city were given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. Aaron's descendants were given Hebron, a city of refuge, Libnah and its pasture lands, Jatir, Eshtemoa and pasture lands, Hillel and pasture lands, Debir and its pasture lands, Ashal and its pasture lands, and Beth Shemesh and its pasture lands. From the tribe of Benjamin there were given Geb and its pasture lands, Alameth and its pasture lands, and Anathoth and its pasture lands. They had 13 towns and among their families. To the rest of the Kohathites, 10 towns from half the tribes of the Manasseh were assigned by lot. The Gershonites were assigned 13 towns from the tribes of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and Manasseh, and Bashan, according to their families. The Merarites were assigned by lot 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun, according to their families. So the Israelites gave these towns and their pasture lands to the Levites. They assigned by lot the towns named above from the tribes of the descendants of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. Some of the families of the Kohathites were given towns from the tribes of Ephraim for their territory. Shechem, a city of refuge with its pasture lands in the hill country of Ephraim, Gezer and its pasture lands, Jokmeam and its pasture lands, Beth-horon and its pasture lands, Ajalon and its pasture lands, and Gath-rimmon and its pasture lands, from half the tribe of Manasseh, Aher and its pasture lands, and Bileam and its pasture lands were given to the rest of the families on the Kohathites. The Gershonites received Golan in Bashan and its pasture lands, and Ashtaroth and its pasture lands, from the families of half the tribe of Manasseh. From the tribes of Issachar they received Kadesh and its pasture lands, Debarath and its pasture lands, Ramoth and its pasture lands, and Anim and its pasture lands. From the tribe of Asher they received Mashal and its pasture lands, Abdon and its pasture lands, Hukok and its pasture lands, and Rehob and its pasture lands. From the tribes of Naphtali they received Kadesh in Galilee and its pasture lands, Hamam and its pasture lands, and Kiriathim and its pasture lands. The rest of the Merarites received from the tribes of Zebulun. They received Rimono and its pasture lands, and Tabor and its pasture lands. From the tribes of Reuben, across the Jordan at Jericho, to the east of the Jordan, they received Bezer in the desert and its pasture lands, Jaza and its pasture lands, Kedemoth and its pasture lands, and Mephath and its pasture lands. From the tribes of Gad they received Ramoth and Gilead and its pasture lands, Mahanaim and its pasture lands, Heshbon and its pasture lands, and Jazer and its pasture lands.